for instance, I know that I tend to under-prepare compared to some people like Tom Kenny, who, when we come into a session for something like, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends or My Gym Partner is a Monkey, Tom always has his storyboard and he's always read the whole thing. I sometimes have my storyboard. Not always. I don't know. I'm going to say that part of that is my improv background, and I just really like to let it flow, but some of it is I'm just lazy. You were the very bad.
Well, this is kind of like a two-part question.
Are they good parts? Because please know, people, I will call you out if you start asking me bad questions. Well, I don't know. What have I done that you guys would consider anime? Final Fantasy.
Samurai Jack.
Afro Samurai. Would you consider Samurai Jack anime? No. Well, I guess we can all agree that that is not to be agreed on. Right. Yeah. Well, it's funny because really the difference between these different projects that we're talking about has more to do with how they're made than really what I'm doing that's different. Obviously the Final Fantasy stuff were video games, so there's a lot more stuff that's being recorded. Avatar is a half-hour show for a major cable network. So it's run, the production process for Last Airbender is the exact same as the production process for Fairly Odd Parents, even though they're wildly different things. They get a group of actors into this Nickelodeon studio and they record the lines in the 28-page script. Final Fantasy obviously is a completely different process. You're in there alone recording, for a video game, and you have I don't know if anybody was here for the previous panel, but we talked about the fact that with something like that, the script is huge, and you're a much smaller part of it, so you usually don't get everything. You don't get the full context. They, hopefully, if you're working with somebody good, they will give you an overview and then tell you how your character fits into it, and as much context as you can use, but you don't get to read the whole thing. So yeah, I would say the difference varies by medium.
This is also a two-part question as well. First off, how was your time working on a show like Samurai Jack? Like, did you enjoy it? Like, how hard was it to work on it? Also, do you know if you'll be returning to do Jack in the possible new Samurai Jack movie?
I'll answer the second part first. I have no idea. I run into Genndy Tartakovsky every once in a while, and I know that he would like to do it. He wants to do it as a feature in theaters, in the same style as the show was. 2D animation, not live action. I remember the first season of Samurai Jack, it was actually optioned to be a live action feature film by Brett Ratner. Coming off of Rush Hour. He saw the cartoon and loved it and decided to make a live action. Like, wait, wouldn't a live action version of Samurai Jack just be a Hong Kong action movie? Made by a white guy? They are already doing that. I don't know. Yeah, it seemed a bad idea to me. But hopefully, at some point, Genndy will find a way to put the project together. My time on it was wonderful. I had a great time working on it. The people, again, I was saying about, when you work for great people, and Genndy is one of those people who's just so amazing. He has a clear, distinct vision and style. He knows exactly what he wants, but he's completely open to what you want to bring to it. You know, I never felt constrained by him. And anything he offered to what I was doing, I felt like he was listening to what I was offering and then saying, oh, that's really good. What about this? Or maybe even pull it back even more. You know, you always felt like it was somebody working with you, not on you. And from the beginning, it was actually a rarity, because he had done this animation test before we ever started recording the show, before we auditioned for it. I don't know if anybody remembers the first episode of Samurai Jack where he's fighting these giant bug alien robot things with that was the original animation test. There was no dialogue. It was just portions of that fight sequence. And it was stunning, you know? And so you knew going in that you were working on something special. And we got great people to come in, you know, John DiMaggio is the Scotsman, Richard McGonigal, Gray Delisle, just a lot of fun people. And working with Mako was just incredible and a lesson. So yeah, overall, the process was incredibly enjoyable, and I'm actually really sorry that, one, we never got to finish the story, although, honestly, I would rather have never finished the story and just kept doing it. But I'm greedy that way. You in the back? Yes, you.
What's the other favorite voice actor you like working with?
Say that again?
Which voice actors did you like working with?
All of them. Yeah. Oh wait, actually here, let's go ahead and lay down the ground rules that we carry over from the last panel. No questions with most, favorite, or least of them. I want you guys to think. Yes.
What advice would you give someone about starting a voice acting?
Learn to act. No, seriously, there's a lot of people who say, I want to be a voiceover artist. I talk all the time. Why not get paid for it? But that's not it. My friend Tommy Smeltzer, who started out as a producer before he became a voice actor, he says when someone tells him he wants to get into voice acting, he tells them, go home and read out loud for an hour every day for 2 weeks, then come back to me. And he has yet to have anyone come back. Because, I mean, and I didn't know why he said that at first, but over the years I've realized the single most distinguishing factor between voice acting and other forms of acting is the reading. You're always reading, you know? And I've figured out that most people are not able to read words on a page without sounding like they're reading words on a page. And that's the one thing you can't do in voice acting, is sound like you're reading words on a page, even though you are. Oh my gosh, there's a small child here. Have I cursed yet?
I was wondering...
I bet you were. Okay, you better stop.
Have you ever bombed somebody in the recording studio? Has anybody ever bombed you? You know what I mean, right? When somebody says a line and you hear it and it messes you up because they're...
Oh, yes. Yeah, see, that's why you need to get on the microphone so people can share the knowledge. He asked me that earlier, and what I said is most of the time you don't, because just out of respect to the people on the other side of the booth who are recording and actually trying to get a show recorded within a specific amount of time, if you're the person who's making jokes and ruining a take, you're actually costing them money. So generally you don't. But on occasion, if it's a group of people who are very comfortable with each other and you know there's something that's really just going to crack somebody up, you might slip it in.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, that was my bad.
We have to leave and then come back. We're back! You smart about it?
I want to ask a question.
What the?
Yes. What?
Raise your hand.
He doesn't have to, he's got his own microphone.